Guys, welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick update on the 1.8T. I figure I'd make a list because it's really hard to find a list. Honestly, I've gone through YouTube and everybody has a preference. People talk about what they did on the 1.8T. They have videos of like, oh, I'm installing my harness, this, that, and the other. But honestly, since this was my first 1.8T swap and I made several mistakes, I just made a list and I figured out share the list with me, which I have right here. So I'm gonna share that list with you. As you can see right now, everything's done here. I'm just waiting right now for a hydraulic clutch because I decided to pull the clutch cable out because the clutch cable broke on me, guys. So I just want to show you, if you use a clutch cable, this is a plastic clutch cable and it snapped, and this came from S&P. So don't use plastic clutch cables. Apparently they snap. So I just decided to do hydraulics. So I ordered 2 kits. I'm gonna tell you where I got them from. One for this engine so that I could drive it this week because this car is done, and so I could get started on the VR6, which on the VR6 I ordered a short pan already for this. I got that from Eurotuning, and we're gonna be putting AC on here. So I'm gonna be showing you guys a video how I do that. But this one's pretty much done. So let me go ahead and start the car for you guys, since if you've been following the channel, we haven't seen the car started. I got gauges going in, guys. So I got Aeromotive gauges going in. We got a boost gauge in here. We have an air and fuel ratio gauge in here, and an oil pressure and oil temperature gauge. Those are the gauges I add in here. That'll at least tell you what's going on with the motor. So let's go ahead and let's start her up. Fuel pump kicked on, and there you go, guys. Motor's running. So you can see my motor's running on drive-by-wire with a new ECU that we have here with the EMO off. Okay, so motor's running, no problem. You can see it's purring really nice. Let me go ahead and shut that off so I don't kill myself. But let me go ahead and start with the list. So if you guys are doing a 1.8T swap, I have the list right here. 1.8T swap. You want to get yourself a 1.8T engine off of a Volkswagen Jetta or GTI. Okay, don't get one off of Audi, because then you're gonna have issues with the transmission and the manifold. So just get yourself a Volkswagen 2002 whatever Jetta Golf. You're gonna need, when you pull the 1.8T swap, you want to grab the gas pedal. So when you remove the engine, you also want to grab the gas pedal for it, because these engines have drive-by-wire, so you're not going to be using a cable. You need the gas pedal to put that in. You're going to have to get a gas pedal bracket, and you can order that from anyone online. And I thought I had one in front of me here, but I don't, so I misplaced it. But gas pedal looks something like this, right? It has like some plugs on it, and then this is for drive-by-wire. So this is what operates the throttle body. Okay, and then you'll need a bracket, it's like a little piece of metal with a flange, and S&P sells it, and someone else sells it, and you can just order it from them. Okay, now you're gonna need the manual shifter off the 1.8T. So you're gonna also need the manual shifter, so the whole stick shift assembly. So what we have in here, the manual shifter right there. So you want to pull this thing out of your donor car with the lines, so that's going to hook up to your transmission. So that's the manual shifter when you pull the engine out. The gas pedal, the engine, and the ECU. You want to grab the ECU out of the car as well. You want to get motor mounts, the motor mounts and the motor mount inserts. So you want to get the motor mount kits, which is going to be the back motor mount and then the 2 side ones. And then you want to get the motor mount inserts, the actual motor mounts that go inside there, not polyurethane. You want to get the OEM ones. You could get those for Eurowise, or you could get those from S&P, whoever has them in stock. You also want to get the radiator and intercooler combo, which I showed you guys here. So this is the radiator from S&P with the intercooler in the front. Okay, and the cool thing about S&Ps, if they have them in stock right now, I know he has none in stock, is that he also makes this tubing here that goes from the manifold into his intercooler, and then he makes this other piece, which is separate. This is the turbo intercooler piping that you have to buy separate. Okay, so when you buy the radiator with the fans and the intercooler combo, then you're going to buy this piece separate, the intercooler piping and this, so that it all fits. He should actually sell this all together for 1.8T swaps, but that's how he has that. All right. Once you do that, you want to do the speedo cable from Eurowise. So you're going to need that so that you know what the speed is on your transmission. So you're going to need the speedo cable. You're going to need a shift plate. S&P or Eurowise has that. That's so you can mount the shifter on the tower. But you honestly don't need that. If you just put it up and you drill holes where the original bolts are and then just put some nice washers on there, it'll hold. So you don't need to get a shift plate. But if you do, you can get one of those. You want to get a hydraulic clutch kit, and you get that on eBay, right? So eBay has them, and I think it's called Fab or something, Fabrication. And they make it, and what it is you have this piece right here, okay? And this goes on your transmission. That little pumps right there is what pumps the clutch in, right? And then you got this little bleeder valve that goes to a hose to another piece. And then you got a master cylinder piece that looks like this. And this piece has a hook on it on the end here. And what it does, it goes into the firewall, and then it attaches to your clutch pedal. And then when you press your clutch pedal, it pushes this in, that then bleeds out, pressure through here, which then hits this piece to engage your clutch. All right, so don't get yourself a plastic clutch cable and make the mistake I did. This is the second one that we've broken. All right, just broke. I don't even want to get into that. All right, so sorry, I was getting a phone call here. You need a water pump and tensioner kit. You could get that from Eurowise or S&P. You need a new thermostat. You need a new timing belt. You want to replace all that if the engine is out. Okay, get new belts for your engine. So tensioner, water pump, the timing belt kit. You want to just refresh the engine as much as you can. New spark plugs, whatever. You want to get your harness and your ECU flash. You want to get your harness from TDC Shops. So Google up TDC Shop. There's a guy named David there. Email him. He fast respond. He usually has the harness already in stock. For these type of motors, it's $650 for the harness, and then he charges another $550 for the ECU flash if you need. If your ECU has emo off, you might just be able to start it and hopefully it runs. But if you have issues when it's running, then you want to just go get it tuned. All right, have them do that for you. You also want to get a magic box and tack. So I have one over here. I don't know what it is, but it's a little box. They're about $125. TDC Shop sells that too. And that's so you can make your tack work if you're using your original, cluster on your dashboard. Okay. You want to get a full exhaust downpipe from Tektronix. So Tektronix is going to sell you the downpipe for this engine, right? And it's going to have one bong on it for your O2 sensor. Then you're going to order a mid pipe, and then you're going to order the exhaust. So he sells Borla or he sells Magnaflow. So Borla, they said that seems to the Randy over there said that the foam inside lasts longer than the Magnaflow one, and the Magnaflow is a little quiet, but it just kind of deteriorates after time. I don't know why, and then it becomes louder. But those are the pieces that you want to get. If you're going to do a VR6 swap, you want to make sure that you have 2 bongs on your intake. So just have Randy or Colin over at Tektronix weld 2 bongs, and if you're doing a VR6, 1.8T, 1 bong, because you're going to need one O2 sensor. Unless you're going to do air and fuel ratio or something like that, then you could just ask them to put 2 bongs in for you and then just cap off the other one in case you ever need it. But you're just going to need one. You're going to need 100 millimeter axle cups and flanges. You could get that from S&P. I think they're like $150. So what it is when you put your O2J transmission in, you're going to have to take the axle flanges off. This way you could put axles in. That's going to be that piece there where the axle comes in. I don't got light. But those you need to be 100 millimeters so that you could use your stock MK1 axles in the car. All right. And I know that Sal over S&P has that. You want to get a new silicone hoses and engine for your hardware. So these are all these hoses that go from the radiator to the engine, and they sell all of that on eBay. And then cast aluminum engine parts. So get rid of all the plastic stuff, guys. So I got all cast aluminum stuff in here, and I replaced all of that too. All right. You also want to get new spark plugs. Like I said, you could get those on Amazon. NGKs, I think it's the 6s, the 7 ones if you want a 1 step colder. If you're going to be running AC on eBay, they sell a 21 by 11 AC condenser. So you could get that, which is this little thin condenser right here, which I explained to you guys. You got to bend these little flanges here so it could fit. And then there's a kit that actually comes with the dryer bottle and the ends on it. And then once you do that and you put the ends on it, then you can take it to an AC place and they'll cut the lines and get it connected to your AC, which is what I'm doing here next week once this car, once we drive it out here in the next day or two. Okay, I'm just waiting for this part for the hydraulic clutch I gotta install. Pay AC place, and then okay, you're also gonna need a new clutch and flywheel. So when you put your new transmission in, make sure you order a new clutch and flywheel. You can get a stack, I think it's called. Sal sells them. If not, go online and look for that. You want to get a new flywheel and a new clutch. OEM is fine. Make sure your turbo's good. If your engine's on, make sure your turbo's good. If you got a KO3, make sure that it's good. Don't put one in there that has 120, 150,000 miles and it's all flingy. Order a new one. Don't get a cheap one from eBay, because I am told that those things just break immediately. They're not even going to get you down the block and they just explode. So try to find yourself a legit one, a KO3 legit one, or a KO4 legit if you're going to go. I highly suggest you don't put a tuned motor when you're doing these. Run your motor stock. Get everything stock. Get the car running. KO3. Don't do any modifications. Get your car running good. Do your shakedown. Drive your car around. Make sure there's no issues driving. Throw some miles on it. And once you got it running and enjoyable, then go ahead and then do, your upgrades. I definitely suggest to upgrade your brakes. So what I did on this car is I took off the Cabriolet 9-inch rotors, and I did Scirocco front-inch rotors. So I think they were 10 inches instead of 9. And then I did the Scirocco calipers on here, and I did new brake pads, and I did new brake pads in the back. On the VR6 is different, which I'll explain to you. I got Willwoods on the front, which are 11-inch, which I believe you could find those two online. If you want to do this conversion, it's fine. Later, if you want to convert the rear brakes to disc, you can too. We got that on the GTI up here when we get started on that. So that's pretty much the build list on this. I have it right here, guys. I don't know. If you could pause the video, you might be able to see it. Let me see if I can get that in there. All right. If not, let me start it again. 1.8T swap, engine swap, gas pedal, manual shifter off the 1.8T, motor mounts and motor mount inserts from S&P. So you just want to buy the kit from it. Get the radiator and the intercooler combo with S&P. Get your turbo piping, which I showed you here. Get a speedo cable. Get your shift plate. Get a hydraulic clutch kit. You could find that on eBay. It's in the UK, so you're going to order it from them. Fabrication, something is the people who sell the whole kit. Get it from them. It's $300. The $270 one doesn't come with this piece. So if you see one for $270, this is the piece that goes in the transmission. It doesn't come with this, because they assume that you already took this off when you pulled your transmission out when you did your swap. So if you have this, you don't need to get this. You could get the $270 one. If you want to make sure it all works, pay the $300. You need a water pump and tensioner kit. You get that from Eurowise or S&P. New thermostat, new timing belt. Anything to do to refresh the motor. You want to get new spark plugs. You want to get your harness and ECU from TDC shops. You can also get your magic box for the tack from TDC shop. Full exhaust and downpipe and mid-pipe you get from Tectonics. 100mm axle cups and flanges you get from S&P. New silicone hoses and cast aluminum hardware, you could get that from eBay or Amazon. New spark plugs you get from Amazon. 2111 kit with the dryer, you get that from eBay. That's about $90. That comes with the 2111 condenser. It has these little flanges on there, adapters for your hoses, and it comes with a dryer. And you could get your clutch and your flywheel from S&P, or you could find that online somewhere. If I'm missing anything, let me know in the comment below. Those are what I know that I needed to get on this. Of course, this engine already came with the intake piping. So you want to get one of those, because if the engine you pulled out has the OEM, you want to end up getting an intake piping, which is one of these ugly ass things here. This is going to go in through your turbo and then hold your intake. Right here, just like kind of what you see there. This is a Forge one. All right, so we have that. Hands are dirty now. Get yourself a new breather, a new intake breather here. Make sure you have the correct mass airflow sensor. Don't destroy that when you pull it out of the engine. You should be good to go. So we put a stress bar up here. just to support the frame. You can see the engine runs. Just a couple little things that we got to do, and then we should be good to go. Hopefully, this helps you out with the parts that you need for your 1.8T swap, because I've looked on eBay and no one has a breakdown of the parts that you need. So I just figured, you know what, let me share it with you guys. Hopefully this saves you some money, because dude, I took so many different directions trying to do a cable throttle body that messed me up, ECUs that weren't tuned correctly, mass airflow sensor problems, a harness that came from somewhere else that was just pure crap, just a whole bunch of shit that I went through. And finally going this route, it's just been plug and play, and then everything starts working. So hopefully this video is informative to you. If you like it, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel. It helps me continue to give you content and try to help you out. If you feel like I'm saving you money somehow, or at least giving you better options on how to do a 1.8T, just give me a thumbs up, man. That's all I need, so I can continue giving you the videos. And hopefully this car will be on the road here in the next couple of days. Today's Tuesday, so by tomorrow we should have this thing on the road. Just got to do a couple final things, and then we could go ahead and start on the VR6 swap, man. I've been dying to get this thing done, and it's just been sitting here and just staring at me. And every time I get something done, I pull back and try to get this thing done. But this is done, and I wish I had this list when I started this build, because honestly, I wouldn't be where I'm at today if I knew what I was doing here. So thanks, guys. See you soon.